There is power in the name of Jesus. There is powers. Whenever you're in trouble, whenever you're being attacked, or confirmation, you guys, hold on one second. If you're being attacked, or many times I'll be in my dream state and I'll be attacked in the dream world. Just for example, last night, you guys, I had a dream of a sister energy and an ex boyfriend energy. And what's so crazy is, for you beautiful soul, your sister is your doppelganger, is your copycat. In my dream, she had on a hair school uniform, and something about how she created a war for you that you had no part of, and she connected with your ex. Okay, and in my dream, I was trying to tell the sister energy to leave that ex alone because it's going to backfire on you. It's going to suck the soul out of you. And she was trying to say she was sorry. But what's so crazy is, in the dream, the only why she come to visit and say she was sorry was to tell you to cause you pain. But you already let go. There's no pain there. You've let the people go from your past. But when she had the hair school uniform on, something about somebody wants to collect your hair to your DNA for whatever reason, for an attack, a setup, whatever. But then after that, next thing you know, I saw the ex. There was an ex who lives closer by you, a house across the street or somewhere in your neighborhood. And when I saw him, he had on like a 1960s blue jean. It reminded me of an old prison uniform, right? An old prison uniform. And whoever this was has literally snapped. And next thing you know, I'm at the courthouse and I'm looking out the door, and suddenly I could see the ex from a distance. But what's so crazy is, before the ex came up to me, I saw his face change into your sister's ex from a long time ago. And he was very angry, and I got off of that haunting because of something about her exes. She done a lot of evil things. Something about spirits are haunting. I'm seeing the movie Ghostbusters right now, Ghostbusters 2. If anybody's ever seen the movie Ghostbusters 2, a lot of people was seeing stuff. Ghost, like the guy, they were calling the police. They were saying they were seeing a sightings of the Titanic. These ghosts walking out. These people were being tormented in these streets from these spirit. That there's something so big going on in the spirit world like never before. Like there's been so much spells. And when I say spells, I don't necessarily mean like going in a spell book and doing, yeah, we know they do that. Hold on one second, you got spells as also in talking and creating a war for you that was never supposed to happen for you. There's something going on in the spirit world right now. There's a prophecy that has to be filled, okay? And let me go back before I get on that real quick. The ending of the dream was when I saw the ex comes running up to me, and he says to me, "You're either going to forgive me or you're going to be with me." And the next thing you know, he goes to reach for my throat like to strangle me, and I woke up. And immediately when I woke up, I pulled up Psalms 91. Let me tell you, Psalms 91 is the most powerful scripture in the Bible. Read the Psalms, but Psalms 91 is the one to go to, okay? If you know what Psalms 91 is and you know the words, you know, okay? And I knew I was under attack, because what I got is they didn't want you to wake up from your dreams. You can go to sleep in the dream world and not come back to your body. They talk about it in the movie. There's a few movies out there about it where the old lady would, oh, I wish I knew what it was called. And the old lady was like, she knew about the spiritual world and about how astral projection, that if you be careful, you can go to dark places. You may not come to your body, but you're protected, okay? That they're trying to get you because what you're saying. And one thing I talk about on this channel, energy does not lie. A lot of people once said, people who was against you said that every bad thing you were going through was karma for you because of all the bad things you do. But it goes back to saying, when you go to God, you say, God, give me strength. How does God give you strength? He puts you through the battles. Even though that you're going through everything you're going through, you put your faith in the Most High, and you know that God is telling you to trust and believe. If something is happening, there's if I allow it to happen, there's a reason for it. It's all being set up in such a way. God is going to come through for you. There is a prophecy that has to be filled. Just like I'm seeing the movie, The Book of Eli. Remember how Eli, he had to get that Bible to that one point, and come to find out he had it all in memory. But God said, I will protect you along the road, when he went along the road and walk. Because one of the men that wanted that Bible, he wanted to use it for the wrong reason. Like a false prophet type of thing. But God made sure he was protected. And along the way, he took that girl, he taught her how to pray. There's a message. But it's such a huge prophecy, because if you notice, you got a lot of God's people waking up. They're getting the same downloads, that there was so much dark in the world, that we all know that God runs this, right? But God is tired. He's not tired. Let me not say that. But just the bull crap that keeps going on and going on. There's something in the spirit world going because of your prayers. Prayers are very important. I'm telling you, if you pray, I'm telling you, it works. And not only that, your pure heart. Okay, this is what I'm hearing too. That there's a lot of stories, right? Let's just say the movie Heaven's for Real. There's a lot of stories that people will find out, and they'll realize from that story that Jesus and God is real, that it was a miracle. But there's a story. There's a battle that you had to endure, because of your story is not going to be like the other stories. It's going to be for the ones who truly was so lost in the darkness, was so lost. But your purity is making those people that was so lost come to see that God is real, that Jesus is real, that, and it only made you stronger. God had allowed it to happen to make you stronger, to make you come to him, because you're going to show people that, hey, God is real. He's really real. If you put him first, your faith, your love, it'll change things for you. It's going to make the dark. I'm telling you, some people that are so lost in the dark. It's kind of like the Beauty and the Beast. You remember the Beast? The Beast literally was away, but when Beauty came in, it changed things from her pure heart. People who attack you are coming to see that there is some hidden force that is around you that is, it's like playing suicide, literally, in your energy. Some people are seeing those were so many lies told upon you, but God had to have it that way. Energy does not lie. That's another thing I express on my channel. If you're around somebody and you are feeling in such a way that it's not for a good, like you feel maybe off, you feel a little angry, a little like, ugh, that's the energy telling you that something's not right about a person. Because you can get betrayed by somebody you thought you knew your whole life. And that was a dream that I had, what was it, yesterday, that I was being attacked. That your doppelganger, your copycat is your sister. She, but it had to happen this way, to forgive and to let go, but it only made you stronger. There is power in the word of Jesus. That's one thing I tell my grandkids all the time. If you're in trouble, you call upon Jesus. I'm also seeing too, communities. There was a time a couple of years ago, I went to the store, right? There was police officers outside throwing like a festival for the neighborhood, right? And when I went there, it was the nicest police officers. Like literally, one of the ladies that worked there, she painted my granddaughter's face, did a beautiful job. But there was no, they could say some officers can maybe intimidate you. But I had conversations that this was people like normally on the street. There was no divide. They didn't make you feel like, hey, we're police officers here and we're doing this. It was very nice, and it was nice for the community just to have that conversation. And you may say, well, why are you bringing that up? Because God is showing me that different types of people are going to come together. Maybe, for example, from your money brackages, maybe a person who don't have money is going to come to work with somebody in billionaire status. Maybe somebody who came from a different kind of community is going to come to work together. That there's no limits. Like, oh, you can't come work here because you're homeless and you ain't got crap. That God is bringing people together who didn't come from the same place. Is going to work on people to give you an opportunity because they see there's something about you. People could say that you're going through karma, you brought all this by yourself. But wait a second, why does this person keep going? Why isn't this person down? Why isn't this person, somebody is angry that you sing, so they want to keep going. They don't like that you sing, that you're still happy even though you're going all through. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? But you're putting that faith. People don't want to recognize or want to see that you changed. You truly only have one person to go to, and that's the man above. That's the Most High. To work against you is literally playing suicide, because there's something going on in the spiritual realm. Literally, you got from all different corners coming to protect you. Like in the ether news, it's a big story. Like there is a prophecy that has to be filled to trust and believe, and they know that it's better to maybe work with you. I don't have to say for example, there was somebody who helped me out in a situation, and his heart was humble. And I remember when I got off the phone with him, I prayed for him, and I knew that God was gonna bless him. We really need to start opening our hearts and being humble, because God is really, 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 like, what does it say in the movie where the girl said God started all the bullshit? Like, and people cannot deny this. There was a thing I saw today where animals were acting different. There's something going on in the spiritual realm that people can't deny. People are being haunted. Some of your enemies, they're going to act like they're not. They're trying to cover up, but I promise you, there's somebody that's being haunted. I don't even want to go that. But what I'm saying is there's power in the name Jesus. There is a prophecy that has to be filled with people. Something about your story, what you had to go through, has to be that way because for the people who are really lost, they're going to be found, that you're going to help heal them. Beauty and the Beast. I'm trying to think of other movies. There was a Netflix series called The Maid, I believe. She went and worked for a woman who was, this woman, the maid, was poor, didn't have nothing. And this woman lived in a nice home. She was rich, she was successful, but she was just angry and, bitter. But somehow she broke that barrier where they two became friends. Like humble. You're going to humble people, because of your heart. Your heart. And yes, your heart. You humble. They know you come from heaven sent. You are an earth angel, So whatever the enemy is throwing at you, it was supposed to happen this way. It was not only that, it was a trap. It was a bait. I'm seeing the word atone. You was bait. It had to be this way to keep the faith. You showing people that even though what's going on, that you keep faith in God. You keep faith in Jesus. Is really opening up people's eyes that there is a higher power. 333 on Journey Long.